What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy. This is Ace Live back again to give you guys another awesome interview today. This is probably going to be one of those special interviews. I'm not even going to lie to you because I know a lot of you guys have been watching a lot of different content creators about Colombia, and today I got someone special. So I'm gonna wait until a couple of you guys show up so I could make sure we got a full crowd. We got a full crowd. So I want to give a couple of you guys shout out. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Risky Things, Puka League, Miami Heat, Black Ham. We got I Am Mawa in the building. All right. So we got a special crowd today, guys. We got actually a special guest today. We got one of the pioneers that started vlogging as an expat or as a U.S. person transitioning to Colombia. He did it in 2017. He left a huge mark over there that can't be replaced. And but a lot of stuff happened, a lot of questions unanswered, and things we want to know more about. We got Marshall in the building. What's up, Marshall?
What's going on, man? I'm glad we're doing this. It's good to be here.
Listen, man, thank you for allowing me to interview. This is something special. I've been actually trying to get you here for a while, but I'm glad I got you now. It's the perfect time. Listen,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just kind of crazy because I recognized your name, and I don't know when I saw it, or like on Instagram or on YouTube, but I had seen your channel before. Or maybe you had commented on my stuff way back when I was vlogging a lot. And so, but then when eventually, I think you followed me on Instagram, I was like, what is that name from? So I looked through, I was like, oh yeah, no, this guy's doing it himself now. This guy's out in Colombia, Mexico. So that was just cool. And I'm excited you reached out.
Listen, I'm just excited. I'm just excited to have you on my channel. But let's get into this because it's probably going to be a very interesting interview. Let's get back to 2017, right?
Yeah.
When you were home, why did you decide to travel to Colombia?
I mean, it's a good question. I mean, honestly, it started back to like 2015, 2016 when I was in college. I was like miserable, just trying to graduate. I was studying computer engineering and just like desperate to get done. And I was like, man, when I get done, I'm going to go travel. And I just got to narrow it down to where it's going to be. And I wanted it to be Spanish speaking. I wanted it to be probably somewhere in Latin America. And then it just came down to like what had the best weather, what was the cheapest prices. And then, of course, anytime you look about like countries in Latin America, it's like Colombia, all the women, like they're the most beautiful in the world. And like, so I was like, all right, I got to go check it out. Got to go see Colombia. And so then basically like I graduated from college and like 2 weeks later I was in Colombia. So yeah, that's where it started.
Okay, so but if you watch your earlier videos, right, you could tell like you was like really getting into it. You was showing us your travel bag, like walking the streets. It looked like you were practicing vlogging, getting ready. Like what was going through your mind? Was that your first international flight? What was the explain to us what's going on?
Yeah, I think that was my no. I went to Brazil at one point a couple years back. I had a girlfriend out there, but yeah, no. Honestly, I was very inspired by like Gabriel Traveler. I don't know if you've seen his videos. He's definitely a big YouTuber. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I always would watch his videos, and then I was just thinking like, man, if this guy can do it, like he's a laid back guy. He doesn't like try to be too entertaining or anything like that. He just like shows what he's doing. Like maybe I could do it as well. And so it was just another element to like just take with me to travel with, to get excited about. But yeah.
All right, cool. So you get on the plane, you take off, and you make it to Colombia, Cartagena. Like, tell us what was that first experience getting there and
yeah, it was kind of crazy. Honestly, it was so hot. It was just like so hot outside. I was kind of overwhelmed by the heat, to be honest. Like that's like the one thing I really remember from Cartagena. But I don't know. I got there and I kind of didn't really know what to do with myself. Like after all this time building it up in my head, like what's Colombia gonna be like? And I finally got there and I didn't really know what to do. I was like walking around, eating the food, and I don't know, just kind of trying to figure it out. I ended up not even staying there that long. You know, I was there for like a week in Cartagena because I was like that like little beach kind of thing. I wanted to go to like a bigger city. I was like already not really sure what to do. So then I went to Medellin, and something like really clicked when I went to Medellin. It just felt right. So much stuff going on, and the women were like amazing. Like that's when people talk about beautiful women in Colombia, it's in Medellin, like, hands down. And I felt like I really had a better handle of like what to do with myself in Medellin. And then got a few videos up, and like that was an interesting time for the YouTube channel because like, you know, I didn't have any audience. I had like 3 subscribers, and I just thought it was a good time to practice putting up videos, and they were boring, and like I look back on them now like why did I make those? But it was just time for me to practice. And then like a month in when I was in Medellin, like my videos started getting better and better, and then people started watching. Yeah, no, that was it, man.
Okay, so what was your mode? Like, I gotta ask because you transitioned from Cartagena. You left after a week. You know, I saw that first video of Cartagena, how you were like, this was amazing, and then your phone died, and the battery had died. Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like
right.
I can relate to that happening, and so what did you do? You took a plane? You took a bus? What was your thought process in traveling? Like, what was your mode of traveling?
It was all buses. I mean, once I got to Colombia, it was all buses. And that was cool. I definitely recommend that to anybody. Like, that's some of the most beautiful drives. I'm sure you've seen the same thing. Like when you go from city to city, Medellin to Bogota and all that, like all the mountains, and it's cheap. It's very cheap. So I did that for the most part, except one time when I went to Cali. I flew down to Cali. But, yeah.
Okay, so we've seen a couple of your vlogs. It seemed like you were always being sociable. You always had someone to talk to, or you had a couple friends that. Did you meet them before you got there, or
No.
Once you got there?
Yeah, just when I got there, I was definitely very lucky. And you know, when you're by yourself, you travel by yourself, you're more. I think you're more ready and like able to make friends when you're by yourself, and so because like when I would be out there, like I just kind of got lucky and would run into certain people. Like I met my friend David out there on the street one time randomly, and he became one of my really good friends. And then like through teaching English, I met this girl, Elizabeth, and she was one of my really good friends from out there. But yeah, no, just meeting people. And that's what makes the trip great. Like all my memories of that is like when I was hanging out with my really good friends that I made. And like, you know, you different girls you meet and, you know, have like little romantic interests at the time. And that just, you know, it just adds to the story and just makes it more fun. And I mean, don't even get me started like on how like people watching on YouTube would just go crazy when you see you hanging out with a girl for more than one video. It's like, oh, then like they just like assume all this stuff is happening. It's like, you know, some of it is, but a lot of it is just like it's just like they turn it into like a telenovela. You know, that's like my YouTube channel. At one point, I really felt like it was like a telenovela. Like, yeah.
They wrote what it is. They want to see someone happy. They want to see like a fairy tale ending,
They do.
or you know, just something.
Exactly.
So, but okay, I love where this is going. All right, so because you said you were teaching, right? But you were on vacation, or you went to Colombia and thinking that you would be teaching.
Oh no,
give us an idea.
I had no intention of teaching when I was out there, but I didn't have any intention of coming back. Like I went out there when I was done with college, and I was like, I'm gonna be out here until I get tired of it. And so like the teaching just came up randomly. I was just kind of like bored and like didn't know anybody, so I decided to try it. And that was like a cool, it was a great way to make friends. It's kind of a boring job at times, but it was a great way to like to get a sense of community, which I think is like hands down the most important part of traveling is like you have to have a sense of community or else you get lonely as fuck. And like, it just makes your trip a lot harder to like keep going if you're always like meeting new people but not really having like, you know, friends that are really like your good friends. Yeah, it's kind of hard to enjoy yourself. But yeah, no, teaching is great.
I mean, most definitely that's what we got when we saw your videos. It's like we see we see you in a classroom, or it just like in a room with other people, it seemed like students or teachers. It was very interesting to see those things. Now, you mentioned you met one of your friends, David, on the street.
Yeah.
Like, you traveling by yourself. How was that like? Was any time did you feel like it was unsafe what you was doing, especially when you was vlogging?
I get a lot of flack for it, but definitely like the only time I felt unsafe was when I was in Cali, and that's why I left Cali. I made a video of like why I left Cali, and like it's such a controversial video because the comments are just like, everyone is upset that I didn't like try Cali more or didn't see that, but I was in Colombia for 5 months, and that was the only time that I felt like kind of sketched out, and so I just decided to bail.
Okay, you bailed, and you went. Where did you go next after Cali?
After Cali, I went to Armenia, which was like definitely when my channel was at its biggest. Was when I was in Armenia, because that's when I started teaching and met some friends and kind of dated a little bit out there. But yeah.
So, okay, let me ask you a question. For those, because we got around 49 people watching, and if you're watching and you like this interview, leave a like. And for those who are not familiar with this brother who I'm talking to, I left his links in the description so you can catch up on his channel. But leave a like for your boy. We got 49 people here. Now, what advice would you give someone to do something similar to what you did as far as teaching and being more sociable and trying to develop some form of sense of community in Colombia?
I mean, that in itself is like the biggest tip for being happy in Colombia. So you have to prioritize the community. You have to go out of your way. Like when I met David, actually that one night, like it was a night that I was like really feeling like I needed to mix it up. I needed to meet someone new. So I started approaching random people, and which is pretty outside of my character to just like go up and just talk to people, but worked out really well. But in a more general sense, I really think like finding some hobby or something you can go to every single day for like a week and see the same people every day, it will be pretty life-changing. Teaching English, I got to see the same people every day. John, Elizabeth, another Elizabeth who worked at the front desk, and like they became my good friends. Like when I go back, when I'm gonna go up in Mexico, I'm going to be like doing more salsa dancing, and like I might teach some English, just more stuff that's a more social environment. You really have to try to be more social. But yeah.
All right, I know you mentioned this in your channel, but for people who don't know, are you Hispanic? Are you Latin, Latino?
No, no, I'm a gringo. I'm straight gringo. Yeah.
The reason why I asked this is because could you have done the same thing not knowing Spanish?
I don't know, man. It would be tough. It's nice to have like a basics, but I mean, I picked it up so much when I was there. Like when I first went in, I think I made a video early on when I was in Cartagena. Like I was talking about how I was so happy that I was able to translate something for someone because my Spanish was so bad at that point. But then like 3-4 months in, your Spanish gets pretty good. I don't know how your Spanish is just from being out there, but I'm sure it's getting better.
I mean, it's a plus.
Yeah.
Okay, now you transfer. Now you're getting ready to leave Colombia. How was that? You have made so much friends, so many good friends, ex-girlfriends, or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Whatever friendships that was. How was that? Like just knowing that you're leaving, because you said you were initially gonna stay.
Yeah.
But the fact that you decided to leave.
I actually just went back and watched that video when I leave Colombia, just to like try to remind myself what that was like. Because right now it's kind of hard to imagine why I would ever leave. Because now I'm like working and I'm like, I would love to be back in Colombia right now, but I had to go back and remind myself. And honestly, I was like pretty burnt out. That being said, I think I was like really ready to go because I had like left Bogota where I had something really nice. Like I had a girl there that was really nice to hang out with, and it was just hard to like reset again. And I think looking back, had I like just stayed out there for another couple weeks and like got my footing, I probably would have stayed longer. But I guess to really answer the question, like what was it like leaving? I was happy at that time. I was like really happy to leave. But I'll go back.
Okay, I got a couple people asking questions.
Go ahead.
We got Andre and Andrea love crossing borders. They asked, "Do you still have your guitar?" I don't.
I
Okay,
don't.
you don't.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't have that one. I love that little guitar, but it ended up just being too much to carry with me, and I kind of just like set it down somewhere. I was like, I gotta let this thing go. When I was walking around Bogota, I just had too much stuff on me. And I was like, fuck, sorry. And I had to say bye.
all right. So, what do you miss about Colombia? A lot of my subscribers are infatuated with Medellin. Give us an idea of what was like your favorite parts of Medellin.
I don't know. I guess like I'll just say favorite parts of Colombia in general was the food and the prices. It's like typical answers what you would love out there, but the dancing, like going out at night, and the ability to like, okay, actually a better answer, the ability to like meet people and then become like their real friends pretty quickly, as opposed to like where I am in Northwest in the United States. It's harder to make friends like that. Like I met Elizabeth, and then I was at her house, and her family was like taking care of me, and I just felt like that was a very genuine connection that I had with those people. And I think that's a very Colombian culture thing, just to be like so family oriented and so genuine. And so yeah, that's one of my favorite stuff.
Did you have any particular city that you enjoy more than the next?
I mean, Medellin as a city is probably the coolest place to be, but for my personally, Armenia, because I had like the best friendships there, and so that's really what defines the place for you. I think is the friendships that you have there. And Armenia is kind of crazy because that's not on the map like for anybody, and I don't think anybody would ever consider going to Armenia. Like maybe Pereira, but like not Armenia. And so it's just like a special spot for me, But yeah.
Okay, so after Colombia, we'll get back to Colombia just a little bit but I want my viewers to know you moved on. I think you went to camp, and then from camp you decided to go to Spain.
Yeah, I went to Spain, which I didn't really like Spain that much. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it was. I mean, for what it was cool. I think at that time I just wasn't really like ready to be traveling all that much. I don't know. Spain's more expensive. The people, it's like being in a first world country. It feels like being in the United States, but they just happen to speak Spanish. It's not like being in Colombia where the whole culture is so different. That's just my perspective on it. But I wasn't really into it. So I was only in Spain for like 2 months, and then I was gone. I was like, no, fuck that.
You decided to come back and get back to the real world.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, so like, how was that getting back to? You've been traveling. I know traveling does something to you, right? So how was that like getting back and looking for a job? You just graduated and now you're working software engineer.
Yeah.
So give us an idea how it was like.
Well, I mean, that's where I am right now. So yeah, I could just tell you, I mean, how things have been, I guess, for the last year. It has served its purpose. It's been really nice. I've liked being in Portland. I'm making some friends here. I'm like really, really into learning salsa and bachata, and like I'm practicing my Spanish like crazy, like trying to be like fluent. But I think what it's done for them, like the biggest part is getting me ready to go travel again. And like that's where I am right now. Is like I'm just so ready to go travel again, but I gotta wait and save up the money, get my career right, and then I'm just gonna quit next year and go down to Mexico and travel there.
Okay, so this is my thing though. I need to ask you, why is this your motive? Because I always promote travel on this channel. Everybody knows this, and I just want to hear like why.
My perspective about it.
Why do you want to? Because you mentioned that you want to travel full time now,
yeah.
Right? So I want to hear why this is something that you want to do.
Well, I think because I have the opportunity to. I think I have a really cool thing with the YouTube channel. I mean, I know that doesn't fit like everyone's reason to travel, but like personally, I built up a nice following on YouTube, and I kind of just left it. And I think I have a nice opportunity to that back up and take it on full time and grow it. But just for traveling in general, like I think that's when I feel the most alive, is when I'm traveling. I think that's when I feel the most like excited about life and like wanting to try new stuff, wanting to meet new people is when I'm doing that. Not to say that I'm miserable here, because this is actually pretty nice. Like working is nice. I have a nice job, good friends, but there's just I'm always that type of person who is looking for something new and for something different. And I think I put that out there, and hopefully 2 years. Like I really think this one's gonna last a lot longer because I'm more prepared for what it actually means to go and travel and like do this. Not, I don't know if I was ready for what it was.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because I noticed you have 2 channels. You have a music channel too. So will you be continuing to pursue your music career?
I might. I don't really know. I'm definitely a lot more focused on traveling and vlogging. I think that's actually something that's off the ground already, and so I'm just gonna keep working on that. Music is fun, but I'm not really like dead set on pursuing that.
Okay, so well, when we watch your vlogs, you're like super transparent and everything about what's going on during your day. One of my favorite videos was you going to look for an apartment, and then, you know, talking to the security guard, and this for them to just get it right. So now, like, talk about that. Your thoughts of showing your life on YouTube. Like, how was that for you? You know, showing some of your vulnerable times in Colombia.
Yeah. Honestly, I love it because in a way, like, you know, there's times where you get kind of lonely out there when you're just bouncing around from city to city. You don't know anybody, and having the camera to talk to and like having this YouTube community, like I can see in the chat right now, I'm on your channel. I could, you know, I'm seeing a lot of names that I recognize from commenting on my videos, like Philly Dom, and a lot of people like shout out. And it's just nice to have a little community while you're traveling. And if the more open I am, the more like cool responses I get in the comments, and the more it feels like a, you know, like a friendship that I have on YouTube. And yeah, I don't know. I always like the feeling when I post like a more vulnerable video, because I like to let people feel like they really get to know me. And so, yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, for one of the biggest questions, you said Armenia is one. Which city in your throughout your travels you think has like the hottest girls
Oh,
in
Medellin.
Colombia? that was real quick.
It's Medellin. Like there's no question about it. It's 1,000% Medellin. So.
That was like super fast.
Because you already know.
Well, I haven't been everywhere in Colombia just yet, so I'm giving other. I haven't been to Bogota yet.
You're right. Wait, you didn't go to Bogota? Oh, you gotta go see it, because they're definitely amazing women there, and probably like my favorite person I ever met was in Bogota. Like, you know, there's good people out there for sure. But at Medellin, hands down, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So, have you ever felt like, you know, throughout your travels, you dealt with a couple women that you know a couple women, and there's this talk about how women can be in Colombia. Have you ever felt like you were being used in Colombia?
No. Oh, no. Never. Like, I don't know. I mean, you know, maybe if I was there for longer, but everyone warns you like that. Like, women are just looking for green cards and all that. Like, or like they're looking for your money. Never had that experience. Always the girls that I was dating or anything like that would always pay for themselves, or, you know, if they had to get a cab here or there, they'd pay for it. And no, never felt like that.
Could you give anybody that's watching right now any particular tips, you know, on
for women?
Yeah, Colombian women in general, since you've been there, you dated. What would be your thoughts on if the right approach to meeting someone in Colombia, or where to go in Colombia?
I'm trying to think how I kind of fell into dating a few different girls out there. It was always different. But I
Did you use any websites, dating websites,
Oh, no.
or any? No
Oh,
apps?
actually, no, and that's a good question because I did try Tinder when I was out there and didn't really have any luck. I feel like Colombian girls, you know, they do have a reputation of being more flaky, and I thought the only time I really felt that they were flaky was when I was trying to meet them online. Like I was just never really worked. But honestly, just like meeting any other girl, just like spending a lot of time with them, and then then just making a move. I will say that they I don't know, they experience a lot more forward attention from guys in Colombia. Like Colombian guys are very forward about their intentions. And so I'm not that forward, but I definitely remember a few times where girls would be like, wanting me to be more forward than I usually am. And I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily a tip, but it's interesting.
No, that's actually good.
Yeah.
You know, for people to, because a lot of my viewers are trying to understand what would be the proper approach to speaking to women, and so just be more assertive, being more forward.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if because I certainly never really was that forward with women. I think it just catches them off guard if you're not that forward. Like, and maybe you don't need to be as forward because I wasn't, and like it worked out. And I think they're just, they're like, oh, this is different. You can feel that cultural difference if you're playing a little more coy or like being a little more shy, which I can be sometimes, but I don't know. Yeah, it works out. Honestly, yeah, you show up also like speaking English and stuff, and I just feel like, if you're coming from outside the country, you do have that little bit of like foreigner factor, that exotic factor, just because you're coming from outside the country. So you can take that for what it is, but I think that's the truth. No matter where you go, if you're from outside the country, you're a little bit more exotic.
Okay, yeah. So you're there a couple of months. Any mistakes made?
Any mistakes made? I guess leaving spontaneously could be seen as a mistake. But overall, not really.
It seemed, I ain't gonna lie, because when you left, it did seem rushed. Like, what's going on? Because I think you could have been there for at least 2 more months or something. I think you left after 4 months.
Yeah,
or what was it?
I left 4 or 5 months, and I was planning on staying for like another couple months at least. But yeah, no, it definitely was like just one day. I was like, never, I'm gone. Like I just bought my ticket and just left. But so I guess that would be the only one. Other than that, I don't really have any regrets or anything. Feel like I made any mistakes out there. But I just at this point, it's been already like 2 years or more than 2 years, and I just think of it very fondly. Like every memory is like very fond in Colombia. So
Are you still maintaining friendships with the people, or is it since you haven't been there since like it's almost 2.5 years? Like,
no, I talked to like 3 or 4 people still from there, and that's like David, Elizabeth, John, and Angie every once in a while. But I think she's got another boyfriend, so I don't talk to her very often.
Okay. So, but if there, you know yourself now, you know the things you know now. Is there anything you could have told yourself before you traveled to Colombia? What would be the one thing you could tell yourself before you made the trip?
I'd probably go back to what I said earlier. Like I would be more intentional about the ways that I was going to meet people and make friends, because that's the most important thing. And so now when I go back to Mexico, like I'm going to be doing more events and like more meetups and this kind of stuff to meet more people. And my trip's going to be it's going to be better. And my content's going to be better for YouTube because I'll have more friends, and so that's definitely my biggest tip.
All right, guys, fellas, I have this brother online, so let me see some of the questions. All right, some intelligent questions. All right, no crazy questions. Some of you guys will be blocked after this because whenever I have a guest, I want y'all to respect the guests as well. All right, so let me get some of the questions up. All right, let me get any question y'all want for Marshall, okay, because he's a busy guy. All right, so I noticed you're doing dancing now. How was that whole process of dancing? Because you were going in. You know how to dance, man. Like you're
I'm
ready.
loving it. I'm loving it, and I'm just preparing. Like I know I'm gonna be in these Latin American countries, and I'm gonna, that's a great way to meet people, to meet women, and to like be really a part of the culture is to be doing the Latin dancing, and so I'm working on that. Loving it out here too, by the way.
Okay, because you were doing some. It looked like you were dancing a little bachata. Then was that salsa you was dancing with the young lady?
Yeah.
And your newest vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Salsa, bachata, all that. Yeah.
So are we seeing more vlogs coming from you, or are you going to disappear on us again?
I might come and go a little bit because I'm a little busy, but I've been playing around with some different stuff, like finding different editors to do my editing right now while I'm making a little bit more money, and I don't have much time at all outside of work.
Oh, no, that makes sense. That's cool. As long as we could get some content coming from you, that'd be awesome.
For sure.
So that's really dope. All right.
Coming, yeah.
Do you still have some more Spain stuff?
I do have more Spain content, yeah. And so I'm working on that. I have like 3 or 4 more videos out there. So
okay, cool.
That done.
All right, let me see if we have any questions. Okay, so when someone asks, where did you stay when you was in Medellin, Colombia? What city? What part of the city you stayed in?
I was in Parque Lleras for a little bit, and then what's that called? Oh man, it's been so long since I've been out there. Like El Estadio and like the station, the Estadio station. Oh, Calle 70, like that area. That was definitely my favorite.
Oh, I love that area.
You know what I'm talking about?
Love that area. Yeah, I love that area. That area, because it's less tourism there.
Exactly.
But you have all those college students coming from the train station.
Yep.
I stayed there for like 2 weeks.
Nice, yeah.
This year, and I love it. It has a pool. If you want to go to the pool, if you want to go to soccer games,
because it's still popping. Exactly, it's still popping.
Did you go to any nightclubs?
Yeah, a little bit, but that was in like Parque Lleras, and I was there just for like 1 or 2 nights. I think the night that I met David, but no, not really too many.
Nightclubs wasn't your thing, pretty much. You didn't. What was your night activities about?
I mean, I don't know. At the time, I kind of didn't really. I was just checking it out. Like whenever I would meet people, I would go with them to the clubs or the bars. Mostly, like, would be going out to bars though, and just drinking the beers, drinking the micheladas. Trying to dance a little bit, and then that was kind of it.
Okay, so you coming from Portland, right? And then you're in. Was it Portland? I forget. Was it Portland? You was
That's
coming
right.
From?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you go to Medellin, and then you had to adjust, right? So it's different. It's not the same. The landscape.
Yeah.
So how was that whole thing for you? Like, that's because you're living there now, for a brief time.
Yeah. I'm talking about like just adjusting to Colombia versus the Northwest versus Portland.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was different. Like the weather was a lot nicer and the people were a lot nicer, but I don't know. It's hard to even compare them. They're just so different. I never was like thinking about being back in Portland when I was in Colombia. So yeah, no. I mean, if you ask me which one I prefer, it'd be hands down, it'd be Colombia and like Medellin and all that. But yeah, that's where we are now.
Okay, so we're returning back to traveling next year, and you said you're thinking about Mexico.
Yeah.
Is there going to be any trips further down south? Back to Colombia, possibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's a big possibility. I think I would really want to take a long time in Mexico and get to know a lot of the different cities. Guadalajara, Mexico City, Sonora, like all these, maybe like Monterrey, all that. And maybe Cancun as well. I don't know. But if I still am like having a lot of energy after that, then I'll continue south, go back to Colombia, and then go down from there.
Someone asked, like, all right, I don't know, you don't have to answer this in detail, but what is your thought process in saving up for your next trip?
I can be pretty open actually about it.
Okay.
I'm putting away a lot of what I make. I'm living very frugally right now, and which is what I did before I went to Colombia and when I was in college. I'm making a lot more than I was when I was in college, and so I'm able to save a lot more. And I'll tell you right now, when I first went to Colombia, I went there with about 20,000 in the bank, and I came back with like 19,000. Like I barely
Get
spent
the
any
hell
money.
out of here.
Yeah, I
Yo,
barely spent any money. It was crazy.
that's the frugal right there.
Yeah, and you can tell, like I get a lot of shit on my YouTube videos for being like really frugal and like trying to like rip people off. And like I don't do it on purpose, but I just like I really am careful with my money, and it it allows you to travel. But anyway, now I'm trying to save up like twice as much as I did before to just throw it out there like that. I'm really trying to have enough money to live a long time out there. So.
No, well, you could be out of the country for a while. You know what I mean? So I know you could do it because I'm doing it right now, and I don't even have that in the bank.
Yeah. I know. You can do it for very cheap. I know. And so when people ask me how much money, it's like I play it really, really safe. But no, yeah, you can do it for very, very cheap, especially if you figure out a way to make a little bit of money when you're out there.
Okay. Now, there was a lot of stuff that you was able to show us during your travels. Is there's one thing that you wanted to talk about that you didn't get the opportunity to talk about? I don't know.
You're talking about
Spain,
when I was vlogging,
Colombia,
all that.
Yeah.
Not too much. No, not too much. But I will just take this opportunity to jump in and just say that I'm in the chat and I can see some people posting and yeah, just cool to see some names. I already said this, but definitely it's cool to see some names. And Marwa, I wanted to throw that out there. A funny thing about I Am Marwa is I remember when I was first starting my YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure he was just starting his as well. And I would see his videos like when I would be editing and posting mine and stuff. And I just saw him for the first time. I saw his channel for the first time like a couple months ago. And I was like, no way, that's that same guy. And he's grown up to like 100,000 subs already or something like that. So just want to say shout out. That's cool. He stuck with it and keep it up, Marwa. So just want to throw that in there.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, is there any last things you want to say before you leave? What's going on your channel?
I'm starting to make some vlog content out here in Portland and just kind of get my chops back up. It's been fun vlogging, man. It's been fun doing that kind of stuff, and I'm just preparing. I'm just preparing to make a very big return to YouTube next year, Mexico, Latin America, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, keep a lookout and have a little patience. I'll be back hard next year. So, yep.
Okay, cool, guys. So you heard what the man said. He's gonna be back harder. Well, he's vlogging now. He got videos out now. So if you've been watching him last year, but you don't get notified now, I left a link in the description. Click the link in the description. Check out his one of his videos, and then I also put his music video. I ain't gonna lie, I like that song. Feel the same way.
Oh,
like I heard it one time, and I was like, "Yo, that was a hit." You know what I'm saying? That's actually a hit.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So,
cool.
Yeah, it got me thinking, like, who are you talking about? You know, is that like a real person?
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
He kind of quiet about that. So, guys, in the description, check them out. If you are new to my channel because you got notified about Marshall, holla at your boy. I am also a vlogger as well. So, man, I want to thank you again because out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying, you just came on. And you agreed to do this after the NBA Finals.
I know. Had to wait. I wanted to see the Raptors do it, but well, I'm sure they'll get them in Game 7. So.
All right. Thanks. So, guys, thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. More exclusive videos on the way. If you are new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that bell button, because it's gonna be some crazy stuff. In the meantime, I want you to check out my boy's channel, okay? Check out if he has a bunch of videos out, so just check them out. Start from the beginning though. I want you to, if you haven't seen this stuff, start up from the beginning and press play and rock with it until he gets to Spain, okay?
Yeah, there you go. All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, brother. And I see you I talk to you on Instagram.
Yeah,
all right,
sure.
bro.
We'll be in touch.
All right. Okay. Bless.
Peace out, guys.
All right. All right, thanks guys for watching this. Like I said, more videos on the way. Lobby of the hotel. Hey, oh yo, what's up, man? Wait, come here real quick. Come here real quick. I need to introduce you to somebody. This guy right here.
Ooh, that looks like we're live.
Yeah.
There's some serious business here.
German dude, but this guy is gonna be the future of YouTube.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
you should just see his second video. Like
now
we'll talk about that later. All right.
All right. This
Future.
guy is next level.
No. I just give him some ideas, but he's doing it by himself. All right, we talk later. Yo.